everybody, it's Patty from 4 Boys and an L Girl, and happy Flossmas, or at least the day before Flossmas. I am coming to you from the extreme east coast of Canada in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, almost the most easterly point in North America. My pronouns are she, her. I am a mom of 3 boy teenagers. I have a wonderful husband, and I also live here with 2 dogs and 2 cats. Freya, our border collie. Gigi is our Havanese, though I'll tell you more about Chi later in going into Flossmas. And we have 2 cats. One is a female calico. Well, I guess all calicos are female, but anyway, we have a calico cat named Bella. She's about 12, 13. And we have a 10-month-old kitten named Ignatius. We call him Iggy for short, or Wiggy because he's a wig nut. He's crazy. He's a beautiful black long-haired cat. Anyway, I thought I'd do a little bit of an introduction there to tell you for anybody who's new to my channel, and welcome to Flossmas 2024. I'm really excited that we're starting this again. As you know, I haven't done a video in quite some time. Quite early in the fall. Lots of life things happening in between there and now, which I'll talk about a little bit as we go through Flossmas. I'm not going to bore you with all the details right now. This is going to be more of an administrative video. I wanted to go through what kind of my Flossmas is going to look like this year, because it's a little bit different, because I am hosting my own countdown box with my cross-stitch design business, 4 Boys and an NL Girl Designs. Looking at Gigi, she's only licking her paw. I thought she has a habit of eating dirty Kleenex, which is gross. Could be worse, could be litter. She doesn't get into the litter. Anyway, she's okay. She's not into anything she shouldn't be. Yes, so this is more of an administrative kind of video to go over what I'm going to be doing at Flossmas, give you kind of a sense of how things are going to go. This Flossmas, I'll be posting once a day between now and at least the 25th of December. I may get another video or 2 out after that or not. We'll see how the year or how the month of December goes. This is, I have 2 countdown boxes. I have my own that I designed with 4 Boys and NL Girl Designs that went out to 35 wonderful people who took a chance on working with me with this countdown box this year. I also have the Evertote countdown box as well, so I will be unboxing that every day as well. I have full intentions of keeping up with my 4 Boys pattern as we stitch together. And but I don't think I'm not making a commitment to keeping up with the Evertote pattern at this point, just because I don't want to overwhelm myself. And I have some other things happening this season. I want to do a little bit of sewing. I also want to do some knitting, and then there's visiting with family and baking and, you know, all the things that are involved this time of year. So I also want to be doing all that. So I can't commit to a whole bunch of extra stitching, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Okay, so let's start with I have a list. So one thing I would ask is, I'm going to be posting these videos quite early on each day, about 7 o'clock Newfoundland and Labrador time. That means, but the countdown boxes have actually wonderfully gone out all over the world. And I'm going to ask for no spoilers on social media until after 12 or into the afternoon Newfoundland Standard Time, which is an hour and a half earlier than Eastern Standard Time. Just so that folks, if anybody really wants a surprise, that they can have that before things are posted on social media. I know that Megan Lytle, hi Megan, over at I'm going to put her and the other Megan's Flosstube channel below, because it's escaping me at the moment. Megan did do an unboxing of the countdown box on her channel, so I'll put that in the drop down so that you can have a look at that. If you're not so much, well, if you have the box, you can always open it and it's no longer a mystery. If you're interested in seeing what was in the box, because I will be having the patterns and contents of the box is going on sale a little bit later in the month or into January. So that's certainly an option if you're interested in that. Sorry, Gigi. Gigi doesn't understand why I'm talking to up here and not down at her. So yeah, you can go have a look at Megan's video for the unboxing to see what's in the content. Now, I will tell you, and Megan noticed this, that on the 25th, so myself and my family packed the boxes. We packed 25 days per box with floss and presents and patterns, as well as a few other things. And for some reason, we missed the floss for day 25. And of course, if you haven't heard, I live in Canada, and Canada Post, our national mail service, our postal workers are currently on strike, which means that no mail is moving within Canada right now, and no mail is moving outside Canada, from Canada to anywhere else in the world. So I have those flosses boxed up with my apologies, got them all enveloped up and ready to go. And as soon as the strike is over, I'll get those in the mail. So I'm really sorry. It is a DMC floss. It's not one of the Brianna Needle flosses that you're missing. It is day 25. It is possible that that particular floss will not get to you. It's quite likely that it will not get to you by the end of Flossmas, for which I apologize profusely. It is if you're interested in knowing what it is ahead of time, just private message me or send me an email at info@4boysandnlgirl.com. I'll put that email address at the bottom of the screen, and I will tell you the DMC color, because you may actually have it in stash, or you may want to pick it up. And I'm so sorry about that. First time doing a countdown box myself for here with my small business, and some growing pains, but I'm already planning for 2025 and designing, and I've got some ideas of how that's going to look next year. So stay tuned for that as well. So that's the first thing. All that whole conversation started with, please try not to post spoilers because there are people who would like to keep this as a mystery. Apart from day 25 floss, if there's anything else missing that you see me unboxing that you don't have, please let me know, and I will get that in the mail with, again, my apologies. If you have questions about the countdown, about my Flossmas, about anything else, just leave a comment underneath the video. And because if you have a question, likely other people have questions, and that would be a great way for me to get information out to to the general public. So if you have a question, just ask in the comments, and I'll go through them and get them answered. So for anybody who does have my the Four Boys countdown box, I'm not going to show you the fabric right now because that would be a spoiler. I will tell you that the fabric is about this big. It is a square. In order to get to start for day 1, you're going to need to fold that in half and make a little finger press in the middle, and then you're going to have to open it up and fold it again in half the other way. Where that X marks, you're going to have to count out from there. And I know for me anyway, counting, especially any distance from the center, if you've got to go more than maybe 5 or 10 boxes, then you start to lose count, and at least for me, my eyes start to cross. So I'm going to give you a couple hints here. I would suggest for day 1, when you're trying to position, because the whole border of the pattern is going to be released in the early days. So what I want you to do is figure out, so pretend that this is a square. This is a piece of scrap. Pretend that, so this square here, you're going to fold it in the middle. You're going to fold it in the middle one way, and then just finger press like this. So you get a little crease there. Very easy to do on Ada. It won't be quite as crisp on your hand-dyed fabric. And then fold it again this way. Again, a finger press in the middle. And then where this crosses, for anybody who's been stitching for a while, you know how to do this. But for anybody who's new, at this cross, you're going to count up and away from that. And how do you do that when the holes are so small and you've got to count? I don't know how many we have to count first, but it is going to be more than 10. It may even be more than 20 boxes. So I have a couple of suggestions. I would suggest using counting pins or a water soluble quilting pen. So if you're going to do that, make sure you test somewhere off here, off the middle of your pattern. Make sure you test it. Put a little dot there. Make sure you can get that off with water before you put it in here, because this is not a full coverage cross stitch piece. And if you start doing, so you do one in the center and then you go up by tens with your water soluble marker, you will see those little marks if you can't get them out. So make sure you do a test on your fabric, on the fabric that comes with the kit before you, and just use a little bit of water, maybe on a Q-tip or something like that. Don't give it a good scrub, because it is a hand-dyed fabric and you may lose some of your dye, even though I've taken great pains that it will not fade. It is hand-dyed and it's not as color fast as you can get with some of the with other manufacturing. Okay, so I have a couple samples here of what I'm going to use I have these really pretty little counting pins. I got these from Karen DeRoche, who is with Rocky Mountain Needle Minders. I'll put Karen's information below and in the drop down. So these have they're long pins and they have a little cap at the end to cover up the pointy part, so that's awesome. You don't need to go out and buy counting pins though. If you have, the other thing that I have just in my little sewing pin cushion, I like these for counting as well. These little pins that have a head at the top. These are great for counting as well. So hopefully that's something that you have at home, and so you don't need to go and get anything extra to do your counting. And then I put mine every 10. And if you're off by 1 or 2 squares, that's fine. That's not gonna. There's enough fabric for a little bit of that fudging. That's okay. But would be my suggestion for how to count to do the parts that we're going to be doing on day 1 when it's released. Put that over there. Go back to my notes. I forgot to get it before I started the video. I will put the design size, the dimensions, down on the bottom of the screen so that you can see that there is a 2 or 3 inch at least border around the fabric that you've been given in the kit. Let's see. So the entire design, the full design, will be released in January, so that you can, so if you're interested in stitching this pattern, you like the pattern when it's finished and you want to stitch it, that will be released in January. And then that's it for my admin information for Flossmas. I've got here that I have plans to knit, stitch, and sew. I have the Evertote countdown box as well. I am currently still working on the Flossmas 2024 ornament in terms of it's designed, but I'm still stitching it. So when you see it on day 1 of Flossmas, I have a feeling the stitching won't be finished, but I do have a finished image for you to view. And